Channel 11 News starts with severe weather Team 11 coverage.
A tree came crashing down on Route 8 and brought down power lines here in Richland Township this morning. This is near Sandy Hill Road. We're working to find out if the rain-soaked ground there caused the tree to fall. And another factor could be the strong winds whipping around again today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Gordon Lesh.
I'm Jennifer Tomazik. Meteorologist Jessica Faith is tracking that wind for us, and some showers too in Severe Weather Center 11. Jessica.
Hey, the Good Friday, we are looking at some pretty strong winds. We had some strong winds yesterday along with the showers. We're not seeing a whole lot of rain right now, but we will see a few more showers as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon. But let your eyes go to this map. Look at Pittsburgh right now, over 20-mile-per-hour wind. This is the sustained wind, not the wind gust. So we're talking about some very strong winds coming in this midday in Pittsburgh, also pretty elevated all across the area. So we're looking at 17-mile-per-hour wind in Indiana, 14-mile-per-hour wind in Washington. We're going to continue to track those strong winds as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon. I'm also going to bring you details about a wind advisory in effect for portions of the area coming up in about 15 minutes, so stick around for those details coming up. Now notice again, we're looking mostly dry right now. These showers that you see, the bulk of this rain off to our west is going to be moving toward the east, so we will deal with a few more showers. I'm going to break down your forecast for the rest of the day, including the wind forecast and updates on a pretty nice weekend ahead. All of that is coming up in just a few minutes.
Breaking right now, a man accused of setting his dad's house on fire is now in custody. Allegheny County police say that Vincent Chalmers set the house on fire yesterday in Baldwin. Wow, look at this video here. And we learned today that state police picked him up in Meadville. And how about this also? We learned that just a day before this, police say that his two brothers hit 5 paramedics who were trying to save their dad when he was having some trouble breathing. Paul and Philip Chalmers have now been charged in that incident, and their dad passed away at the hospital. A fire gutted a garage this morning in Westmoreland County. Here's the video to show you this. Wow, not too much of it left here. You can see that roof even collapse. The good news is that firefighters did stop the fire from spreading to the house on Stall Road in South Huntington, and no one was hurt.
Thousands of people in Pittsburgh might have overpaid on their taxes because of a mistake by the city's finance department. Our news partners at the Trib report people who use programs like the homestead exemption or Allegheny County Senior Tax Relief Program may have overpaid the taxes that go towards city parks. It's not known exactly how many people were overcharged. Taxpayers can contact the department for a refund, or it can be automatically applied to future bills.
Pittsburgh Malayan School is closed today after a 4th person tested positive for COVID. School officials say they contacted parents last night. They say the person who is sick was in the building on Wednesday. The school will reopen on Monday when Pittsburgh Public welcomes back all students who want to do in-person learning. A new study finds that schools can be a source of coronavirus spread, but some key steps could stop it. Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond takes us through some numbers.
How do you get the risk of spreading COVID-19 to entirely go away in schools? Well, according to Johns Hopkins University, you use every single mitigation effort at your disposal. Here's what the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health discovered. JHU researchers looked at an ongoing Facebook-based COVID-19 symptom survey. Carnegie Mellon University's Delphi Group, in collaboration with Facebook, manages the survey. These researchers looked at nearly 600,000 responses. This was over 2 periods between November 2020 and February 2021. So before vaccines were widely available in the United States. They found households where at least one child was back to school in person full-time were 38% more likely to report someone infected with COVID-19 or a COVID-like illness. But the risk went down by nearly 10% for each mitigation measure utilized. Teacher masking and daily symptom screening appeared to be the strongest risk reducers. And get this, they also found the risk completely disappeared when 10 or more mitigation efforts were properly implemented.
Everybody has to do their part. The schools can only be as safe as everybody following those safety measures. And if we really want our children to be in school, we all have to participate in the safety measures.
Just know that these mitigation strategies work. And now that we have widespread vaccination for our teachers, this should also further make schools safe for our children to go back to school. And by the fall, we should have even our high schoolers vaccinated. So we will continually see this trend of being safe to send our kids to school.
Dr. Deborah Bogan with the Allegheny County Health Department has consistently said schools in the county are not causing any kind of spread of the virus. We've reached out to the county, too, for an update on this and their response to this most recent study. And there's more. I reached out to a few local school districts who are back to school in person full time. I am also checking in with Carnegie Mellon University for a more in-depth look at this study for Channel 11 News at 5. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
Giant Eagle is teaming up with the Pittsburgh Public School District to vaccinate students. They'll hold a clinic Wednesday at Heinz Field for students 16 and older. Students must have a signed permission form or bring their parent or guardian with them to the clinic. Parents and eligible siblings can also get the shot if they have an appointment. And today's the deadline for students in the North Hill School District to register for a vaccine clinic. That will be held Tuesday, May 11th, I should say. The district is working with Giant Eagle to host the event.
Police found a bunch of drugs on the side of the road that they say were tossed out of a car. Here's a picture. Ligonier Valley Police said on Facebook, this is 1,500 individual bags of suspected heroin. They got a tip about a car that could have drugs in it in their area. They say they found the particular car and they believe the passenger got rid of the drugs on Route 711, which is where they found it later on.
This video shows the moment before a stampede at a religious festival in northern Israel. At least 44 people were killed, 150 others injured. Witnesses say the stampede began when crowds of people tried to exit the festival through a narrow tunnel. NBC's Rafe Sanchez has the latest.
Shock and grief in Israel this morning. Tens of thousands of people last night went up to a mountain in northern Israel to mark the Jewish holiday of Lag BaOmer. Coming down the mountain, they passed through a narrow metal walkway, which at one point went around a sharp corner and down a flight of stairs. And it looks like at that corner, there was confusion, there was overcrowding, and people were trampled underfoot. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calling it a terrible disaster.
We're all heartbroken today. Instead of being happy and rejoicing on this great day of Lag BaOmer right here in Meron, people are walking around with their nose down instead of being high spirit and happy.
This was the biggest public event in Israel since the start of the COVID pandemic, and the Israeli Health Ministry had actually warned earlier in the week that people should stay away because of the risk of COVID spreading. Now, it turned out to be a different kind of tragedy, but the warnings were there over the size of the crowds we were going to see at this event. Israeli police say they are investigating, and if there is any sign of criminal negligence, they will hold people accountable. Raf Sanchez, NBC News, London.
Derek Chauvin and 3 other former police officers could soon face civil rights violations federally. The Minneapolis Star-Tribune says the Department of Justice will ask for a grand jury for indictments. Chauvin is scheduled to be sentenced in June after being convicted over a week ago on 3 charges related to George Floyd's death. The other 3 former Minneapolis police officers will have their trials in August. Putting a body camera on every officer in Allegheny County. It's a big goal, but Congressman Connor Lamb says it's doable. He just needs some help. If all goes as planned, police departments all over Allegheny County would use them, and there are more than 100 of them. 100 police departments, I should say. Congressman Lamb has requested $550,000 in funding. However, he also proposed the Allegheny County Chiefs of Police Association pay for the cameras. Now, this comes as City Council member Sam DeMarco recently pushed for new legislation that would help police get those body cams. An overwhelming number of council members support it. Last night, the county's Public Safety Committee recommended County Council review the benefits and the cost. They'd like to buy them before the end of the year.
A woman accused of stealing from an animal rescue just 2 years ago just pleaded guilty to stealing from a youth sports organization. And we're not talking petty theft. Police say she stole $100,000. Our Amy Hudak went to Beaver County and found out how she almost got away with it.
This is Janessa Taleko, the Beaver woman accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars from the Brighton Township Beaver Soccer Association. Federal investigators say over the course of 3.5 years, Taleko used the youth soccer's bank account to pay for a Royal Caribbean cruise, American airline tickets, products from Amazon, mortgage bills, cable bills, utility bills, even cell phone bills. Prosecutors say Taleko also deposited nearly $200,000 in player dues into her personal bank account. The Brighton Township Beaver Soccer Association tells Channel 11 they're working to put this unfortunate episode behind them, saying, quote, "We are hurt by the actions of someone who we had believed was a friend to our club," adding, "A dedicated group of volunteers has worked hard to maintain a place where our BTBSA families can learn, practice, and play the game of soccer now and many years into the future." But it's not the first time Taleko has been accused of pocketing a volunteer organization's money.
It's a major hit.
Police and Cross Your Paws Animal Rescue in Hempfield Township, Westmoreland County, says in 2019, Taleko pocketed adoption money for 2 litters of puppies she fostered, nearly $3,000 worth, and she allegedly forged checks.
She came to meetings, she helped run applications, she volunteered for multiple litters.
It's money the rescue says Taleko took from puppies that would have been used for vaccines, spaying, neutering, and vet care. It's not clear if the Animal Rescue or the Youth Soccer League got any of their money back. Amy Hudak, Channel 11 News.
Federal sentencing for Taleko is in August. She faces 20 years in prison and a fine of up to $250,000.
The fallout is starting after a Target 11 investigation that we broke yesterday at noon. It revealed thousands of Pennsylvanians had their information exposed through contact tracing. An Atlanta company called Insight Global was paid tens of millions of dollars to do contact tracing for Pennsylvania, but more than 70,000 people actually had their information exposed because we learned that security protocols were not followed. Well, the state health department says it's now decided not to renew the contract with Insight Global, and there's a toll-free hotline that's supposed to be up and running by this afternoon. If you think you've been impacted, you can see the number there on your screen. We also have it on WPXI.com. And the state says free credit monitoring and identity protection will also be offered.
Breaking news now. This is a live look at Interstate 79, where a tanker truck is overturned near the Coraopolis interchange in the southbound lanes. You can see there is a big emergency response there up at the corner of your screen. We have a crew headed there on the ground as well, and we'll bring you more information as we get it.
The winds are very strong, kind of shaking the camera behind me, and winds will be a factor as we go throughout the rest of the day. I have your wind gust forecast, and we'll show you how high the winds will be.
We want them to be, have a memorable experience.
But how do you plan for prom in the middle of a pandemic? The safety measures that some schools are taking.
President Joe Biden marking his first 100 days. We got to Beaver County to see what they think about the president's plans. This week marks the first 100 days of President Biden's administration.
NBC's Dasha Burns is live in Beaver County, reconnecting with voters as part of NBC News' County to County project. And we know there are a lot of voters in that county that voted for President Trump. So, Dasha, how do they feel about Biden's first 100 days?
Hey, Jennifer and Gordon here in gusty Beaver, and we have been coming back to this county for the last year or so as part of this project. And this is a county that Donald Trump won by about 18 points in November. And as you can imagine, a lot of the voters here are not happy with the president that they did not cast their ballot for. We asked voters here to give President Biden a bit of a report card for his first 100 days. And with voters here, he was averaging about a C- or a D+. A lot of folks especially concerned with the amount of money he's planning to spend as part of several big proposals. I want you to hear from one of the voters we spoke with, Ernie Pishotti. He's born and raised in Beaver County. He's seen this region through a lot of economic struggle, and take a listen to his perspective on this. If you were to give a report card to President Biden for how he's doing so far, looking at the overall grade, what would you give him, Ernie?
Right now, my feelings are I'd probably give him a C+.
C+, why?
And for the main reason, he's, like my dad used to say all the time, talks cheap, okay? So he's talking a great talk about the free education, free this, free that, and taxing the 1% wealthy. But it's one thing of saying it, it's another thing of doing it, collecting all that money for his programs and not hurting the economy and not hurting people's jobs. That's my biggest concern. Now, if he pulls it off, I think it's great. I would like nothing better to see him go down as one of the best presidents we ever had since Harry Truman. But again, he has to do it now. He's talked a good talk, but we'll see what he can do in the next 3 years or so now.
And that C+ from Ernie, one of the more generous grades that we heard from voters. Though, interestingly enough, while the majority of people we spoke with were avid Trump supporters, the majority of people also said that they wouldn't be hugely disappointed if Donald Trump did not run again in 2024. They say it might be time to move on and see some new names coming up in the next presidential election. Gordon, Jennifer.
Dasha Burns live for us in Beaver County this afternoon. Thanks so much for that report this afternoon.
Certainly a lot of strong opinions out there. And tonight on NBC Nightly News, NBC News will continue to examine the first 100 days of Biden's presidency, including the border challenge and ending our forever wars.
The pandemic is not stopping some local districts from moving forward with prom and graduation. Districts like Greensburg-Salem, Latrobe, Norwin, and Hempfield say it's a way to give kids somewhat of a normal high school experience. We know that was taken away from a lot of seniors last year. So Greensburg-Salem is doubling the size of the dance floor at the prom, and they're also limiting the number of tickets. Hempfield is removing the dance floor altogether and offering more casino games and outdoor seating.
We want them to be, have a memorable experience and try to do as many of the traditional things. And the places where we couldn't do the traditional, we tried to supplement something that would be a replacement.
Now, districts like Derry are just opting out of prom. They actually took a survey and they found that most students were not interested in a dance with restrictions. As for graduation, most districts we talked to do plan to have an in-person ceremony this year outside in their stadiums or somewhere else outside.
It's graduation weekend for students at Slippery Rock University. The university will hold 5 outdoor commencement ceremonies starting today. Each student will get 2 tickets. You have to social distance and wear a mask. The ceremonies will also be live streamed for friends and family.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Boy, is it windy. I've been watching actually the tower cam shot, kind of shaking the camera all midday. And right now the wind is coming in from the west-northwest at 22 miles per hour. Temperature right now 57. And we see behind us that we're mostly cloudy, actually pretty calm as far as rain is concerned, but the wind not calm at all. Here's actually the wind gusting over 30 miles per hour in Pittsburgh, over 20 miles per hour in Beaver. and close to 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts right now in Greensburg. Again, this is the current wind gust. So if you have your trash cans outside, maybe want to bring them inside or tie them down. And especially if you have any maybe outdoor furniture, maybe tie them down or bring them inside so they won't be flying everywhere, because the wind will continue to be strong as we head later into the afternoon. Here's your wind gust forecast. Notice that around 5 o'clock, we can see those wind gusts exceed over 40 miles per hour. Later tonight, the winds will start to calm a bit, especially around 9 and 11 o'clock, but still on the higher, pretty high, but not as high as what we're going to see later this afternoon. So we're looking at some pretty high winds, and we do have a wind advisory that is in effect right now until 11 p.m. Now, we will see high winds just like we are right now, high all across the board, but those who are included in this wind advisory includes Indiana County and the ridges here, the mountain ridges of Westmoreland and Fayette counties. But again, we expect those winds to be high everywhere, and I just showed you that those the wind gusts are high everywhere right now. 57 actually our projected high, already in the upper 50s in Pittsburgh. We could see a few more scattered showers. I'm actually watching a bulk of rain off to our west in portions of Ohio. That's kind of tracking eastward. I'm going to show you the hour by hour forecast and show you what to expect for the rest of the afternoon. That's coming up in our next half hour, so stick around for that, especially if you have any outdoor plans, if you plan to be outside later this afternoon and this evening. By tonight, the rain is out of here. We're getting back to mostly clear skies and very cold temperatures. Temperatures will be near freezing tonight, just a few degrees shy there at 35. We also have a freeze watch for our northern counties. I'm also going to break that down coming up at our next half hour. Let me show you how nice we're going to be tomorrow. Temperatures warming into the 60s. That's going to be paired with plenty of sunshine. You and your pups will love it, so get outside and maybe take a walk. Take in the nice, calm conditions. Still looking quiet and warmer at that on Sunday. Enjoy that, because we bring in the beginning of the new work week on Monday and Tuesday with a soggy scenario.
The Penguins want to create specially vaccinated sections for fans ahead. We found out the Penguins are not alone. Where else having a vaccine could be an advantage?
First, the local group of high school kids giving back to the community that has helped them grow.
A group of seniors giving back today, clearing a farm space and planting seeds.
It's a way to help the community that has helped them grow. Channel 11's Mike Holden talked with the students about the impact for the community outreach program.
These Pittsburgh area high school seniors are giving back in a big way, making a difference in the community and thanking the nonprofit that has helped them over the years. Community outreach is a passion for the Crossroads Foundation and students who are a part of it. So they rolled up their sleeves and partnered with Grow Pittsburgh. They spent the day planting seeds, weeding, and cleaning up the Braddock Farm space. Organizers say this is truly symbolic. The event represents the growth the students have experienced over their high school years and how they will continue to shine and grow throughout college. Students and leaders say it's so important to continue giving back to area communities and will be a constant mission throughout life.
They should be proud of themselves because they've come a long way from starting out in the program.
I feel like this program's left a really good mark on my life. I've learned a lot from this program. I've learned how to be a leader, how to help out my community. I've learned how to talk to people, how to be myself, really. So I feel like I'm going to take that along with me.
And organizers tell us they plan to hold this retreat and particular event every year moving forward. In the meantime, we're now highlighting the work that this organization has done and how the students are succeeding after the fact for Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting in Braddock, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
A few cities may be seeing some sun right now, but we're not done with the rain. I'm breaking down the rain chance for the rest of your Friday coming up in just a few minutes.
Pack your patience. The changes that could send your mail up to 100 miles away in the wrong direction before it finally gets to your door.
And PennDOT going on the defense. The agency speaking out on its plan to toll I-79 in Bridgeville. Why they say doing nothing now will cost us all more in the future. Strong winds whipping around again today and some showers out there moving in. Meteorologist Jessica Faith tracking it all in Severe Weather Center 11.
Yeah, definitely tracking in this rain that's moved in from Cleveland and now pushing into portions of our area, even pushing closer there to Pittsburgh. Getting a still image right now, you can see where the showers are falling. Even some heavier downpours there around Newcastle and Beaver, where you see more moderate rain, where you see the yellows there, and even some green starting to push into northwestern Allegheny County, just to the northwest of Pittsburgh. We'll be seeing some showers soon. Now seeing more cloud cover, and where you aren't seeing rain, some more cloud cover, and then rain will be pushing into your area. I'm going to break down the rain chance for the rest of the day coming up in about 15 minutes and show you when rain moves in, when it's going to move out for good today, and also when we could see a good bit of sunshine before the sun sets.
What was your reaction when you saw the F rating on the BBB site?
I just got sick.
Extended car warranties are tempting if you're looking for peace of mind to protect against a major big bill for repairs. But before you spend your money on one, 11 Investigates' Angie Moreski just here this afternoon to tell us about our latest investigation tonight at 6. So, Angie, you say proceed with caution?
Oh, that's right, Jen. And it's especially true when it comes to aftermarket extended car warranties. If your phone is anything like mine, it's blowing up these days with robocalls for these warranties.
Hi, this is Amy, and I'm giving you a call from the Dealer Service Center.
Interested in renewing your auto warranty now?
Call our 800 number at 833-304-1447.
Oh, yes, we know them all too well. And as annoying as those calls can be, all the robocalls, emails, and commercials are working to get consumers to buy. We talked with a Mount Lebanon man who bought one of these extended car warranties, but got stonewalled for nearly 5 months when he had to put in a claim. What's the response you were getting?
The runaround. They're pros at it. It's been like hell.
Why did you want to tell your story?
Oh, I don't want it to happen to anybody else.
And we'll show you what happened with Bob's claim when we contacted the company and tell you what to look out for if you're thinking about getting one of these extended car warranties. Plus, we'll have tips on how to stop those robocalls. Hope you tune in tonight at 6.
Looking forward to it. All right, thanks, Angie. PennDOT says it is strongly opposed to a bill out of Harrisburg that could stop it from adding a toll to a stretch of I-79 in Bridgeville. We told you earlier this week the state Senate approved a bill that would change the Public-Private Transportation Partnership, or P3 statute. Doing that would stop PennDOT's plans to toll 9 bridges across the state. In a statement, PennDOT says projects on the bridges would be self-sufficient and, quote, without the P3 initiative, the funding would be pulled from other interstate projects, and districts would have to continue spending significant maintenance dollars, taking away paving, pothole repairs, and other maintenance activities. That bill still needs to pass the House and then get Governor Wolf's approval.
The president is heading to Pennsylvania today to celebrate his favorite mode of transportation, Amtrak. He's also promoting nearly $4 trillion in that infrastructure plan and jobs plan. Jacqueline Fell shows us the work behind the scenes on the ambitious packages.
Amtrak is celebrating 50 years. You know, President Biden took the train to D.C. nearly every day when he was a senator from Delaware, earning him the nickname Amtrak Joe. This is the president's latest stop to sell his ambitious infrastructure, jobs, and families plans. Top Democrats here on Capitol Hill are putting together the package that will likely pass without any Republican support. Vice President Kamala Harris has been meeting regularly with Democratic senators about what should be included, about the details of the plan. Republicans are pushing a much smaller deal and say that raising taxes to pay for any plan is a, quote, non-starter.
A blueprint for giving Washington even more money and even more power to micromanage American families and build the country's liberal elites want, instead of the future Americans want.
Like last time they come in with 1/4 or 1/5 of what I'm asking and say that's the final offer, then it's a no-go.
These plans have to pass in a narrowly divided House and a 50-50 Senate. That's why Democrats say they could consider using a budget move again in order to pass the bills along party lines. In Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
There's a delay in mail-in ballots for the May primary. So the election director in Fayette County blames last-minute changes and an unusually large ballot. He does expect all 5,000 ballots to be sent out no later than Tuesday. Early voting by mail is now underway in Pennsylvania for the primary election. It is on May 18th. Applications are nearing 678,000. Just a reminder, you can vote early in person or by mail until May 11th.
As we track the path to recovery, Mayor Bill Peduto says he's in contact with the Pirates about a special section for vaccinated fans. We told you earlier this week, the Penguins asked the state to consider the option of having vaccinated and unvaccinated sections of PPG Paints Arena. The mayor says those decisions won't come from the city, and it's not only sports teams that are thinking about this.
Our restaurants understand the same thing, that vaccinations are good for business, that masks are good for business. And if we want to see the return to normal happen quicker, then we need to make sure that those types of options are being made available.
The governor told us yesterday it's a work in progress and they're trying to figure out the details. And the county tells us all guidance will have to come from the state. And speaking of the Penguins, it was a nail-biter overtime win last night, but the Pens clinched another playoff spot. It was back and forth at D.C. last night. Late in the game, 15 seconds left. The Pens were up by 1 when the Caps tied it up at 4 each. But not to be denied, Jake Gensel scored his 22nd right there. And the Pens won 5-4 and skated into the playoffs for the 15th straight season.
We weren't really sure what was going to happen this year with everything going on, but we just stayed to our plan and stick to what we can do and try and be as best as we could. So that's on the ice and off the ice, but just a good step in the process, and now the fun's going to have to start here pretty soon.
The Pens take on the Caps again tomorrow night with 5 games left in the regular season.
Had to bring my Penguins cup today to root them on. Congratulations to the Pens. All right, 12:36 here this afternoon. State and school leaders are looking at ways to reform cyber charter schools. They say that charter schools need to be held accountable to students and taxpayers. In fact, the superintendent of the McKeesport Area School District says that their budget is depleted partially because of charter school tuition. In fact, they have eliminated 115 positions since 2012 because of the increase in costs.
We are here to educate children, and as we all know, the research shows they need to be educated in schools. But as we look in that big picture, the dilemma that we're faced with is that children and families are looking for educational options.
Governor Wolf's new proposed state budget would put a moratorium on new cyber charter schools, and it would also cap student enrollment in low-performing charter schools until outcomes improve. All right, this is a date that you should watch if you don't want your milk to go bad. Why the Best Buy date on your next gallon of milk could change.
And a due date for Amazon's Big Prime Day. Why the company is moving the shopping holiday up this year. The Postal Workers Union is warning about more delays. The union points to plans to consolidate 18 mail sorting facilities. The union says the move could redirect mail in some regions by nearly 100 miles. The Postal Service says consolidating the sorting facilities is not expected to delay all mail. Express and priority mail should be fine.
Amazon Prime Day is back on track, so it will be in June. That is a month earlier than it usually is. So they've been doing it since 2015, but it was postponed last year from July to October, of course, because of the pandemic. Now, Amazon hopes having it in June is going to draw more attention from customers and vendors. The company was concerned about transportation slowdowns in July with travel plans and the Olympics.
There's a proposal to update the sell-by and best-by dates on milk cartons. Milk must be labeled for sale no more than 17 days after it's pasteurized. This week, the state Senate approved a bill allowing milk processors to extend that window, though. Pennsylvania is one of just 3 states in the U.S. that requires a fixed date. Supporters of this bill say that puts Pennsylvania at a disadvantage.
With the rain moving back in, it may be hard to sell you on this forecast, but don't you worry. We're getting back to the sunshine. I'll let you know when we'll see abundant sunshine today and how the weekend's looking.
Well, in my phone, it says Larry Adams helping others, because that's all he does.
This is a great story, how that man's generosity towards others just saved his own life. Here's that lovely story we were just talking about here. A chance meeting in an elevator ended up saving a Pennsylvania man's life. So Larry Adams met Brian Doran in a building where they both worked. Brian was fixing the elevator and the two talked about how Larry needed a kidney. Well, that's where the conversation stopped until Larry got a phone call.
He said, "Can I add to your great news?" And I said, "Sure, what's going on?" And he said, "Me and my wife, Lori, were talking, and I want to try to see if I can be a donor for you." And I was just blown away.
Oh my gosh, how beautiful. During that first meeting, Larry apparently told Brian, if you treat people with respect, they'll treat you with respect. And you know what? Brian held on to those words, and that's why he decided to donate.
That's my gift to him. He's given me a gift to be a better person. I'm going to keep him on this earth as long as I can.
Oh, this is such a wonderful story here. These two men, they were a perfect match. They even both had the same very rare blood type.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
We saw a little bit of sunshine briefly. Now we're looking at more rain. It's not going to last all day, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at who's seeing some heavier downpours. And we're seeing some red and yellows here. That's depicting some moderate to even heavy downpours. We see that throughout Butler County and also a few spots here in Beaver County to the east and the southwest of Beaver, a little small isolated heavy spot. We also now have rain in Pittsburgh and also back to a good bit of cloud cover right now. Around 2 o'clock, really much of the same, maybe not as heavy, but still looking at a good bit of rain. Scattered showers continue for much of the afternoon. As we go toward the evening hours, the rain will continue to shift farther off toward the south and the east. So here's 5 o'clock. We're looking mostly dry, maybe still hanging on to just a few showers farther off toward the southeast, maybe around Greensburg, Uniontown, towards Somerset. Now, it's not going to last all day. We'll be clearing out the rain and the cloud cover. So around 7 o'clock, this will be a little over an hour before sunset. You can get outside, maybe go out to dinner, whatever your plans may be for your Friday evening. I'm sure you may have plans today. We're looking at a good bit of sunshine, cooler temperatures though, but at least we're drying things out. Even as we go into the nighttime hours tonight, will be mostly clear and also quite cold as well. Notice the temperatures. The temperatures are much cooler than this time yesterday. We're again holding on to the rain and clouds through much of the afternoon this evening. Plenty of sun, temperatures in the 50s. So as you head out to maybe dinner, you may want to grab a jacket with you. Eating outside, not bad at all. Again, maybe a jacket or even a sweater, especially with the breezy conditions. It can make it feel just a little bit cooler. And they were looking clear and cool tonight. 57 for the high, though, along with the very strong winds gusting over 40 miles per hour. I talked about that in an earlier half hour. Just want to remind you that today is a very windy day. Tonight is going to be a very cool night. Check out the overnight lows. Notice that we're in the 30s, near freezing or even at the freezing mark. In some spots could be 32 tonight for the overnight low in Butler. Pittsburgh 35, 32 right at the freezing mark in Greensburg. And we do have a freeze watch in effect. This will be in effect from 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. We could have freezing in the counties that you see shaded in here, even for the mountain ridges, so portions of Westmoreland and Fayette County. But we do expect a cold night all across the area. So just keep in mind those sensitive crops. You may want to bring them inside or even cover them. But temperatures warm up really nicely for the weekend. We're talking 60s, plenty of sunshine for Saturday. We can always view second half of the weekend. Upper 70s, a mix of sun and clouds, still very nice on Sunday. Enjoy it, because as we go into the beginning of the new work week, showers return.
Hey guys, how long is the list of things that you absolutely have to get done today? This long, right? Mine is this long. Things I have to get done today. You know what makes me not get anything done? Pain. Pain stops you from doing everything you need to do. But now we have something that's actually going to give you pain relief at the source, no heat, no side effects, not full of chemicals, doesn't smell weird. I know it's amazing. This is Capseva, and this is a formula that was actually discovered by a family company. It's made in Michigan. Love that. And they found a way to give you all the pain relief of capsaicin with no heat and no side effects. Is that amazing or what? I love this because in so many cases, if you hurt, you run to the grocery store, you grab something, you take it home because it's your elbow, it's your shoulder, it's your back, right? And you put it on and it's full of chemicals and it smells like, whoa, don't go to dinner after that. And it's all goopy and then what are you gonna do? And this is beautiful. I mean, look at this. So number one, you can just open this. It's clear, it's not white, it doesn't go on thick. You can put it on. It doesn't have a heavy smell, and in a matter of minutes, this dries down to nothing. I could put on a silk dress and high heels and go to dinner, and I'm not gonna smell weird, and it's never gonna stick to anything, and it's fabulous. So now you can do whatever you need to do because you have that pain relief at the source, no heat, no side effects. I'm gonna love this because there's a million times I just am clumsy and I hurt myself. My dad works outside. He would love this. My sisters are active. They would love this. I need to work out, but I'm going to have pain after the first time, so I need this in order to get to the second workout. This is one of those things that everyone in the family is going to use and everyone in the family is going to love. Right now on localsteels.com, these are 40% off. It is the perfect thing to go into summer. Don't forget it works on sunburn, and your entire family is going to love it.
The Steelers selected a running back at the first round of the NFL draft last night, Alabama's Najee Harris. He was named the best college running back last season and won 2 national championships with Alabama, but he's also known for what he does in the community. And our Jenna Harder asked Harris why Steelers fans are going to love him off the field.
Shoot, I'm me though, I guess, I'm a very giving person. I do a lot of stuff in the community. But I want to see what ways I could help in the community and ways and stuff like that. Having food banks, just doing stuff in the area where, I could just help out people.
Harris is regarded as one of the best one-on-one running backs in the draft. Rounds 2 and 3 of the draft continue tonight. The Steelers' next pick is 55th overall.
Did you hear about how he helped the homeless shelter?
I did. It was amazing.
Gave a pizza party to the kids where he spent some time. So wonderful. Glad to have him here in Pittsburgh. All right, Mother's Day is coming up. It's not this Sunday, it's the next Sunday, and it looks like Mom is going to be getting more expensive gifts this year. Shoppers are expected to spend about $220. That is $16 more than last year. The National Retail Federation says that jewelry and electronics are the top gifts on the list, and brunch seems to be the most popular meal to show your mom that you love her.
It's coming up fast. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5.
Thanks so much for joining us. Have a good day.